Hello, Hunter Korbakov here. I've got another highlight reel of some Tier 7 World of Warships gameplay. Today it's going to be the Atlanta starting off. And if you've seen other videos on YouTube of the Atlanta, you know how to play it. You just got to shoot right over islands. Because the Atlanta's arcs are so insane. They really allow you to use cover to your advantage. I'm playing on the map Estuary. It's one of the 3 new maps. And I like hanging out in the center here as the Atlanta because of the diversity and the geography with these gaps and gorges like this, which just allow you to shoot right through and take advantage of players sitting still. Enemy Kirov disappeared, so the next salvo went right into the mountain. My strategy right here was to just sit around, but I noticed that Furutaka was shooting at me. Fired back at him. First salvo's with HE, and although 9 shells hit, you'll notice it was barely any damage. Second salvo's AP, and just check out the difference. Almost 5,000. Next salvo's 9 other shells, about 2,000, and then I hit him with about 9 more, it looks like. But I didn't know how much damage it did. And then the Kirov shoots through the same gorge. What an asshole. The nerve on that Kirov using the map to his advantage. And I see that he's slowly starting to take off, so I'm expecting him to come right through there just like the Furutaka. Maybe he's trying to escape since his health is low and running away from that destroyer, which I would have just attacked him head on. Now the first salvo, I don't lead it as much, but the second salvo compensates well. Lands 4 citadels. I notice this Farragut's coming right around the corner pretty quickly. Fire at him, but this is really off and I only get 1 shell. And the second one misses entirely, so I switch over to HE and just say, screw it. And 12 shells land, practically killing him, not needing much effort to finish him off there. Now I know he fired some torps, so I wanted to try to go straight into them, to try to follow into a gap.
Stop killing people.
But unfortunately, I do take one to the bow. Now, this isn't going to be a full game, and honestly, I think I'm going to try to stick to this format of showing you highlights of moments versus entire games, because at the moment I'm not that great of a player to show you entire games. But also, I really like to play battleships, and battleship gameplay can get really boring. It's really slow. There's also always a lot of moments where I'm just trying to get somewhere to actually do some damage. And I love World of Warships versus World of Tanks because it's a strategy game. I mean, you often have to think minutes ahead versus seconds ahead. But in a replay, I mean, that can get kind of boring. Also, as a player, I really like to get into hairy situations. Sometimes I'll drive right into 3 enemies just to have a fun little fight, even if it doesn't last very long.
How can he Citadel me
But
from an angle like that?
it's better to try to stay alive if you want to win. So this Furutaka is coming around the corner, immediately switch over to AP, but unfortunately my bow is head on to him, so I don't have as many guns facing him. Do get a Citadel there. Do not with this salvo, but I'm bringing the rest of my guns around to try to capitalize on his broadside. And my friend Slamby Vam hits him with an epic shot right there as I finish him off. Now I do end up dying, so I'm going to take it off from here. You don't need to watch me sail around and get killed. But I'm going to switch over to the American Tier 7 battleship, the Colorado. We're on the map north. Now, I imagine most of you guys have played this map to death, because it's kind of an old map. But I feel like most players I play with don't really understand the strategy of it, which you have a big-ass wall right through the middle. You really shouldn't push unless you're pushing with your whole team and you're pushing from multiple sides. What my teammates are doing right here, which is a major mistake, is going right in at the 4 line. All this does is create a focal point for the entire enemy team's aggression, and they take you out one by one. The better strategy is to stay on your side. I know it's a little boring, but stay on your side, take some points, let them the enemy try to cap them, and then kill them, which is exactly what my buddies and I are doing with this Warspite right here. He's trying to take C, and, you know, we don't want to bet C. We don't want them to get more points. That'd be ludicrous. Doing an okay salvo. 7 hits for about, I think it was 8,000 damage. He really can't do anything to me. So I think he'd rather focus on the cruisers. And I think he does manage to take one out, if I'm not mistaken. But as you can see, those guys that went up that 4 line, they've been completely shattered. There's only one guy left, and he's running away. Warspite's taken out right after he took out my buddy. And my buddy to my right, the ARP Mayoko, is going to chase after this destroyer that had been spotted. So I take aim on this Cleveland. Very, very low health. 2,000 or a little bit more than that. And now at the time and in the replay, I think this is an excellent shot. But RNG does not think so and does not agree with me. I look away to look at torpedoes, and I see I get 1 hit. That's extremely frustrating when you get such a good salvo. And it's even more frustrating when I see him, and he only has 400 health left. So close to dying. Spoiler alert, Cleveland does get away. Again, even more frustrating. And I choose to take C because I see that the enemies are focused on my friendly turrets to my west. And I wouldn't be able to catch up with that Fubuki anyway in this Tier 7 American battleship, which at most gets about 21 knots. I know that we're down by about 3 people, so I see that we need the points. It's the only way we're going to come out of this. Take aim on the Fuso. And my aim's a little off. I think I only score about 3 hits. And I think I in-cap one of his guns. I'm not sure it's broken. Doesn't really matter. He's got 5 more turrets. And that Cleveland's back on the map. That little bitch. Why don't you want to die, Cleveland? Fire one more time at the Fuso. Again, my aim is pretty poor. Seems like a good salvo, but the Colorado's finicky. I only get 3 hits again. The Tirpitz is down and the Fubuki's down, and I don't know about you, but whenever I hear that announcer say I'm the last one left, I get pretty pumped. But not when I'm up against 6 guys. So again, I go back to following my strategy and go back south. Let them come to me. Why rush 5 dudes, one including a North Carolina? And if you're a Colorado captain, you know fighting the North Carolina sucks. You need to be really lucky and have support to take one out. I'm going to speed up this part just a little bit because I just basically make a circle. Because I see where the Fubuki is angled, and I believe he's going to try and go right through the gap and capture C, which I worked so hard to get. And luckily the spotting plane, or the fighter plane rather, of my friendly Mayoko is still around. Lets me know that it confirms my original belief that the Fubuki is going through the gap. I would love to just shoot that Cleveland, but he's behind the fattest island on the map. Well, besides the one to my right. Now, I know that Fubuki's probably not within spotting distance, so I throw out my plane just out of pure luck, it goes exactly where I need it to go and spots that Fubuki. And again, out of pure luck, the Fubuki's AA guns are on. Always a bad idea when you're in a destroyer. Gives its position away and allows me to get the kill. Now I assume that torpedoes are in the water, so I hightail it. And I see that dead ahead there's a Kiev. I'd still really love to kill the Cleveland, I just don't think it's going to happen. I think he's done for the game. So I charge the Kiev, and again, this is pure luck. The Mayoko is coming around. I see he's giving me a great broadside because he's got to make it in between the islands. And I capitalize on it with an amazing salvo. Okay, the Mayoko was not amazing. The Mayoko was lucky. The Kiev, on the other hand, this is going to be amazing. Now, the Kiev is one of my favorite ships, but its torpedoes are only 4 kilometer range. It does have 10, and it could easily kill me if it got within 4 kilometers. And you see, he's closing that distance rapidly. He's at 5 kilometers now. I figure I should space out my guns, but when that first one misses, I kind of panic a little bit and fire all three at the same time, and it rewards me beautifully. With 5 hits and 8,000 damage. I find AP works beautifully on destroyers, especially in high tiers. It's all about the position and where you hit them. It gets me Kraken, Confederate, and Devastating Strike. Now this next game, it's also on North, and this time I'm in the Kiev. But this is an old gameplay, definitely from pre-destroyer patch. I fire all those torpedoes, and that Mutsuki does a beautiful job dodging them. And to my misfortune, I run right into this little island. I think I'm done, my heart's in my throat, but luckily that island actually saves me because it allows me to back up. And the Kiev's engines, well, most Russian destroyer engines are just awesome. And it allows me to finish off the Mutsuki with short work. Again, I said this was pre-patch. I can't remember which patch it was specifically, but the one that ruined Russian destroyer guns. It brought down their damage from like 2,600 to 1,200. It's something ridiculous, and they never looked back. But so I dodged his torpedoes, and I dodged my friendly Mutsuki's torpedoes, and decided to go looking for more destroyers to kill. Russian destroyers are capable of pretty much anything, but I think they excel at taking out other destroyers. Again, I'm going to speed up this part just a little bit because it's just me circling around, getting in position. My team's doing extremely well with most of their people dead, especially the Turpits. The North Carolina's still alive and at full health, but I think they'll get them. So my prey has been spotted, and this time I'm going to do what the Fubuki did last game and go through the cap. Really only destroyers should risk this since the geography here is so tight. Doing it with any other ship is suicidal if there's a fight going on. I mean, if it's clear, you know, you feel free to, especially during in conquest. And again, to my luck, there's 2 destroyers. I'm going to have a field day with both of them. The Fubuki's guns are really good, but I expect him to launch torpedoes at me, and I'm just going to try to kill him before he does that. But auspiciously, I notice he's fired 6 torpedoes. The Fubuki actually has 3 sets of 3 torpedoes, so I know he's got 1 more, but I don't think he's focused on me at the moment. Decide to fire a quick salvo at the Ognivoy. Notice he's at 4,000 health. Brings him way down just from 2 hits. Ah, beautiful damage. Ah, missed that shot, just barely. And he fires his torp. So close, but not close enough. I fire all of mine in a panic, but 1 pays off. I would have easily finished him off if it didn't. And I turn my attention to the Ognivoy, who's now in smoke. His guns are pretty good too, mind you. And he gets some excellent torps off even though I wasn't spotted, and I almost managed to get by, perhaps if I had been using a speed boost. And I die, but we win. Again, this is how a lot of my games turn out. A lot of cool moments, but end up dying. Now this final clip, I'm in the New Mexico. Now, I know, I said it was a Tier 7 highlight reel, but the 7 I want to talk about is not my ship, but rather the ship I'm shooting at, the American cruiser Tier 7 Pensacola. Now we all know how ridiculous the citadels are on the Pensacola, but I just had to record this because of how strange this particular citadel was. Now I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to slow it down by like 5 times. I'm actually going to freeze frame it because I want you to pay attention to a particular shell of this salvo. If you could focus on this shell right here, just watch exactly where it lands. Follow it the whole way. And I did not know that a citadel was in the crow's nest of the Pensacola. That's ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. I have fun making these videos. Definitely a lot of fun playing. Glad the community is taking such an interest in making themselves better and putting out a lot of content. Anyway, guys, I want you to enjoy your
Oh,
rest of your day and the
damn.
rest of your week. Take care.